Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and today we're going to make something for my futuristic setting that is going to be how they keep a hold of meat, how they take care of meat. This is a Chessex bottom from the bottom of a, where's the lid for this? I have a lid for this, if you don't know what it is. If you know what it is, it doesn't matter. Here we go. It is from Chessex dice. It's the bottom part here is what I'm using. I'm sure most of us have that. I have a bag of them. My wife collects dice. I have so many of these. I've thrown them away. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to need is some of this stuff that you use with yarn. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball cut this to fit. Like that. Then I'm just going to get a little bit of glue in here. I'm going to wiggle that into place so it's sturdy. Okay. And you could use either side realistically. It wouldn't be a big deal to use the bottom part. Here, watch if it fits in there. I didn't cut it to measure to fit in there. So just get yourself some of this stuff, whatever it's called. You can get it at Joann's or, well, I think that's out of business. You can get it at Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby or probably Amazon too. I can't remember who I was watching years ago. I was watching a video and somebody called it granny grating. Maybe that's what it's actually called. I don't know. For some reason, I don't think so. And the goal is to make it look kind of janky and put together. That's the goal. Oops. Because in the future, they don't have a bunch of master craftsmen laying around. They have a bunch of yahoos that just do whatever jobs they can get for the day. And very few people are actually professionals in any kind of field. Thanks to AI saying nobody had to work for a long time. Okay, there we go. Now, for our meat, we're going to need some plates or trays for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue a couple little trays down in here. Something to work as the tray, just like that. I'm going to do two smaller ones. So meat either comes from if something died, because there's nothing really to hunt besides dye beetles, which you can only kill when they're ready. When they're adults and you need to get to harvest their dye, or irradiated rat monsters from the surface, which you don't want to eat those, or occasionally, you know, people die, true enough. Occasionally you'll meet someone who lab grows meat, and this meat is kind of strange and awkward. So first thing you're going to need is a piece of metal. You're going to make a couple big shapes. You just want to make them kind of ovular and then smack them down to make them look kind of like just an awkward form. Then we'll let those cool and we'll turn that into our growing meats. Now as those cool, we'll let them sit there for a minute. You can do this to cool them extra quick. So, when they're cool, we're going to get a knife and we're going to skim off a flat surface on the top of our lab-grown meats. And the gross thing about these lab-grown meats is they're like a creature. They're like an amoeba. They move around. Okay, let's hope those are pretty dry. Let's start skimming a flat surface off the top of each one of those, just like that. Now, I didn't try the flat surface skimming part yet, but I did try to make some of these shapes already, and it worked out okay. Okay, there we go. Now we have the nice flat surfaces of them. You can pull it off here, get any loose strings or pieces you don't like, and then hopefully that texture I made by cutting it will make it look a little something special. So now to get it down onto our tray, you're going to need some fire. Let me reach into my pocket here. I'm going to get a little bit of fire. I'm going to get that hot. Then I'm going to stick it on my tray and move it around until it sticks in place. And I'm going to pop it loose. Okay. Let's get another one. Try it again. We're just going to do that a couple times till we get all our meat on the tray. On a tray. Okay, something like that. Now, if you want to make your sides a little interesting, maybe do some of these sci-fi looking kind of shapes. Just get a tiny dab of glue. Whoop. A yabba dab of glue. Now, and stick those on there like that. I gotta be careful with glue, because yesterday I did take a chunk of my finger off with hot glue because I'm sloppy. This is from a box of cosmic brownies that my 7-year-old devoured. I know I say we shouldn't buy a bunch of snack cakes, but man, if we quit, I wouldn't have anything to do anymore. I was going to do something stupid there. Let me correct that. I have a feeling one of my employees is going to call off tomorrow night, and I have no one to cover it. I have a feeling it's going to affect me heavily. Because if I have no one to cover, then my old ass has to go in there and do it. Okay. Blowtorch to get rid of spider webs. There we go. Snip off any excess that sticks up too far. Something like that. Now we need something to put this on to paint it. So a paint blob or any kind of thing like that would probably be easiest to use. I'm just going to use the top of this Mod Podge. I opened this Mod Podge and it was hard as a rock somehow. Okay, that's not going to work. It's too big. Let me try something else. Some Eileen's tacky glue. Here we go. We'll let that cool. Well, that's cool, and I'll hang my spatula thing I used for my metal piece back up. Oh, my spleen. We'll spray this black real quick. And then I'll hit it with a little bit of red primer, which looks brown. And I'm just going to dust it with that. Okay, something like this. We're going to hit the air gun real quick. I'm going to pull the camera up. Oops, knocking shit over. Of course I am. Okay. Now we just need a little piece of cardboard. Let me see if I got one. Boop. And let's get some different colors on here to make it look a little beat up and old and terrible. Our first color is going to be this reddish brown chocolate bar. You can just mix red and brown, or you can be lazy like me and do it my way. Let me find a bigger brush. All right. Here we go. I'm going to get a little bit of water. I'm going to spread that around. Then I'm going to get a little metallic brown into that. Oh, that's a lot of metallic brown. I'm going to try to hit the majority of my mesh with that, my metal. That's what's keeping our lab-grown meat from escaping. I'm just going to dab down in there a little bit and make some of that metallic-y. I'm going to dab around and catch some of that. Okay, now let's get a little bit of black. And I'm going to get a light gray. I'm going to mix my light gray with my red and my metallic and make it just an ugly color that no one will enjoy. I'm going to wipe some of that off like that. I'm just going to kind of touch around the edges. And that's going to be beat up. Rinse out my brush a little bit and just use that water and mix it with my black and leave some of that metallic and stuff in there. And I'm going to touch around the bottoms and make it grimy. I'm going to get in here and do the creases a little bit. Okay, now let's get a smaller brush. I'm going to get some off-white. I'm using ivory here, it looks like. Let's dry that first. Okay, I think that's mostly dry. And we're going to paint all that, the trays and the meat, ivory. We're going to need to hit this twice. Well, I've never had any lab-grown meat, but I'm sure it's a thing. I think they're growing square tomatoes or something, or maybe that was something else. Heart-shaped lemons, that might have been AI. Problem is, everybody's got AI now. You can't really believe your eyes anymore. Your eyes are starting to be liars. Used to be you could trust your eyes pretty realistically, pretty reliably, I guess. But AI has changed that game. I'm going to get a lighter white. This is called antique white. I'm going to dry that white. Okay. water, a little bit of antique white. Now carefully outline my trays. Now, this lab-grown meat, they spray it with a liquid fungus to keep it fresh, and it can last for a prolonged period of time. Now, it probably doesn't taste like meat, but no one remembers what normal non-human meat tastes like. No one's had a deer or a cow or a goat for so long that no one knows what that stuff tastes like anymore. Now we're going to get a ridiculous red color. I'm using flamenco red. And I'm going to switch to a pretty small brush for this. I'm going to use a size 1. And I'm going to attempt to leave a white dot. So it's supposed to look like a rib bone, like from a ribeye. And I'm going to paint my meat red. I'm coming right up to the edges, and then I'm going to do the outside edge with bright white. And on this littlest one, I'll be a little extra careful. Okay. Something like that. Then I'm going to dry that off, and I'm going to do white around the edge. Okay. This is the part where my shaking hands are going to kick my ass. But I'm just going to be real careful. I probably could have just done that white dot on the end during this part. It's not a significant difference, but it's a little bit different. I'm going to come back and hit those white dots a little bit to make them look a little more brilliant. Okay. Now I don't think that my trays are dark enough, so I'm going to do something about the trays. I'm going to come here with some black paint and some water, and I'm going to dingy up those trays with a really, really, really light wash. Really light, just super thin. I got spider webs everywhere. I've been crafting for like days down here. No, I have not made a ton of videos. Every once in a while, I just need to craft because I like crafting. I need to feel like there's no reason for me to rush or to make mistakes, or I can get several projects going at once. That's kind of the thing with that for me. You know, everybody's got their own enjoyment, and crafting is actually my escape from the world. That's how I get away from D&D and crafting. I work a lot of hours at my job. Okay, I do need to hit this one back here a little more. Darken that up. All right. Now, on the sides, we need some advertisement. Let's get an off-white color here. This is Mummy Robes. I like this a lot. It's got like a little bit of a cool to it. Let's get a red. Something like that. We'll dry those off real quick, the reds. And we'll add some more flavor text. All right, I'm gonna dry that yellow off. I'm gonna try a freehand a smiley face. All right, where was that at? There it is. We'll get a little bit of black. I just got a spider web in my mouth. By the way, these are not real spider webs. That's just what I call Super glue strings. Oops, that's way too much black paint. That'll learn me. All right, one little touch more that I think would really make this look better. And this is optional, obviously. Every step in this is optional. I'm not at your house making you do these crafts. Or am I? Oh, too much silver. See? Oh, Chris. I'm terrible with droppers these days. I used to love droppers because it was the only thing I could use without making a mess. I can't use the droppers nice. I'm just going to wipe a lot of that off. I'm going to come back. I'm going to hit some of this metal up. Because people have been leaning on it and scratching on it. Okay. Something like that. Made a big difference. My meat is so yummy. I'm going to get down here. I have this little bit of silver in my brush. I'm just going to mix it in this watered down black. There's a piece of white there that I don't like. It should not be white. So I'm going to try to darken that up. Didn't work. Oh well. Not sweating over small stuff. So anyways, there it is. Real yum meat. This will be good for your adventurers. This is how big it is compared to a person. So a street vendor would have this set up with these, and they'd be spraying these. Now, after I clear coat this, the secret to making that meat look disgusting is to, well, here, let's do it. Let's do it real quick. Let me check the time, make sure we're not here all day. We're only at 30 minutes-ish. Okay, we're going to hit this with some matte clear coat. Oh, my spleen. You got gloss Mod Podge. Yeah. That crappy brush. And we're just going to smear the meat with the Mod Podge. And make it shine. And as you're describing a stall like this to like your players, you can be like, as you approach the meat stall, you see the shiesty lady pull out a spray bottle and spritz her products as you approach. But she does it in such a way that she wants you to not see that she's doing it. The meat looks fresh, but for how long? You're not sure. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and even leave a comment. I do like the comments. If you like this kind of stuff, check out the website, www.dungeonswag.com, and the Discord. Those are both linked in the description. Also in the description, you'll find a discount code to save 25% off your first month of Dungeon Swag Minis, a subscription service where we try to populate your table with minis that you can use in your fantasy games. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.